In the quiet village of Arambag, nestled between rolling green hills and a glistening river, lived a young boy named Rohan. Unlike most children his age, Rohan was deeply introspective. He often found himself lost in thoughts, wondering why he wasn't as fast as Karan, as strong as Vikram, or as smart as Aryan. From childhood, Rohan had been surrounded by comparisons. His parents, though well-meaning, frequently reminded him of his shortcomings. "Look at Karan. He won the sprint race again," his father would say. "Vikram is already helping his father in the fields. You should build some strength like him," his mother would add. The weight of comparison burdened Rohan's heart. No matter how hard he tried, he always felt inadequate. One day the village announced a grand race, an event held once every 5 years. It wasn't an ordinary race. It was a test of endurance, strategy, and willpower. Competitors had to navigate through the hills, cross the river, and finally sprint through the village to the finish line. The winner would be honored as the pride of Arambagh. Rohan's heart raced at the thought. He had always wanted to prove himself, but then doubt crept in. "Karan will win the sprint. Vikram is stronger than me. Aryan is more strategic. What chance do I have?" he thought. Despite his fear, a tiny voice inside urged him to try. And so, he decided to participate. Rohan sought advice from an old sage, Guru Vedant, who lived by the riverbank. The wise man had seen many races and many runners. "Guruji, I want to run the race, but I am not the best at anything. How can I ever win?" Rohan asked. The old man smiled and handed him a small oil lamp. "Take this lamp and walk around the village at night, but be careful. Don't let the flame go out," he instructed. Confused but obedient, Rohan did as he was told. As he walked, he focused only on the flickering flame, shielding it from the wind and ensuring it remained lit. When he returned, Guru Vedant asked, "Did you notice the people around you?" "No, Guruji. I was too focused on the flame." "Did you hear the chatter in the village?" "No, I was only paying attention to keeping the flame alive." The sage nodded and said, "That is the secret to your race. Stop looking at others. Focus only on your own journey, just like you did with the flame. If you do that, you will find your strength." The race begins. The day of the race arrived. The entire village gathered, cheering for their favorites. Rohan stood at the starting line, his heart pounding. As the whistle blew, the racers took off. As expected, Karan dashed ahead. Vikram powered through the rugged terrain with ease. Aryan calculated the best paths to take. But Rohan, he remembered the sage's words, "Focus on your flame." Instead of worrying about others, he focused on his own pace. He conserved energy while climbing the hills. He took steady breaths while crossing the river. One by one, the competitors began to tire. Karan had exhausted himself in the sprint. Vikram struggled in the water. Aryan's calculations failed when an unexpected landslide blocked his chosen path. But Rohan? He kept going. His body was tired, but his mind was unwavering. He wasn't the fastest, the strongest, or the smartest, but he was the most consistent. As he approached the village, the crowd roared in disbelief. Rohan was in the lead. With one final push, he crossed the finish line. Silence fell. Then a deafening cheer erupted. Rohan had won. As he stood there panting and overwhelmed, Guru Vedant approached. "Do you see now, my child?" he asked. Tears welled in Rohan's eyes. "I stopped comparing. I focused only on my path. That made all the difference." From that day forward, Rohan was no longer just another boy in the village. He was the boy who ran his own race and won. Moral of the story: your biggest competition is yourself. Focus on your own journey and success will follow.